Hello, and welcome to another episode of Breadcast Movie and TV Talk. I decided to try something new on Netflix and give the relatively new show, The Witcher, a watch. I know absolutely nothing about The Witcher as I have never played any of the 3 games, nor have I read any of the books. It's fine, because I had heard a lot of good things about the show before my 2-episode test. I want to say that I am never going to be able to say the name of the main character correctly, despite knowing the name. So if you have a problem with that, I'm sorry, but I'm not. Right, off the bat, starting with episode 1, they introduce us to our Witcher, Geralt, if that's correct, with him killing a random monster. Then he goes to a town because apparently someone was going to pay him for the monster, but they couldn't, so some girl tells Geralt about a wizard that will take his monster because this wizard does experiments or something. They go to a place where Geralt goes through some portal and is in a garden where a wizard lives. This is one of the weirdest parts of the episode because this wizard lives in a garden with a bunch of naked girls, and well, you see a lot of boobs. Like, the girls are all in the background, they're just background people doing a mediocre job, making it look like they're doing something, and they're just naked for no reason. Geralt goes off looking for a girl that the wizard asks him to find because she apparently is mutated in some way, and he didn't really explain it. In the woods, this girl, whom I don't believe they ever gave her a name, appears where Geralt happens to be. They have a conversation about how this girl used to be a princess. I don't know where or when, but yeah, she was apparently a princess, I guess. Then out of nowhere, Geralt and supposedly Princess Girl decide to fuck each other, even though they've only had like 3 conversations and barely know each other. Yep, that's the kind of girl I would immediately want to fuck. Then Geralt goes to a market and is surrounded by thugs that he met at a tavern earlier that I forgot to mention is where he first ran into supposedly Princess Girl. They all decide to fight, and well, Geralt basically wastes them. Out of nowhere, supposedly Princess Girl comes out holding a little girl hostage by sword. Geralt ends up killing supposedly Princess Girl, which is what Wizard surrounded by naked girls wanted him to do. But when Wizard surrounded by naked girls comes to where the dead body of supposedly Princess Girl is, Geralt appears and threatens the wizard not to touch her. Suddenly, there's a crowd, and then they magically have torches? And they throw stones at Geralt? This is one point that it's brought up for the second time. The first time was in the tavern that I forgot to mention earlier. That it's stated that pretty much everyone hates Geralt. Why? Because he's a witcher. Why do they hate witchers? I have no idea. What is a witcher? I have no idea besides what Geralt is. Where do witchers come from? Again, I have no idea. This is before I even got to episode 2. A big minus for this show is that when you don't provide enough background for your main character or any character, I don't know why I'm supposed to care about them. And that goes for any character, like supposedly Princess Girl, who gave us a very lame and not believable explanation to her supposedly being a princess. I don't believe it, and I also don't understand why Geralt fucked her. And, why he was going to just kill her anyway. And she apparently has some mutation in her, because that seems safe to fuck a girl that has a mutation in her. Anyway, none of the character motivations make sense or are believable at this point in episode 1. There's a point in episode 1 that they show a king, a queen, and a young princess knighting a bunch of people. That's boring. Then there's a big army battle later in the episode after all the Geralt stuff. It's basically the second half of the episode. I don't know what kingdom these armies are from and are fighting for, and what they're fighting over. There's a moment in the big army battle that some guy dies and this woman weeps over it and sees an archer up on top of the hill because the guy got an arrow through his eye. My question is, who is the guy that died and who is the woman that's weeping for him? And why should I care about either of them? Then we go to the young princess whose mom or some family member is dying. Then, I assume, the enemy army from the big army battle storms the gates, killing people left and right as they go. Basically what happens is all the important adults in Unknown Kingdom die in various ways, and young princess gets escaped out because she has abilities. I don't know the name of young princess because they never bothered to tell us. On top of that, I don't know the name of the kingdom being stormed, why they are being stormed, who's storming them, where is the kingdom being stormed, what the heck is really going on? I don't even know what is so important about the position of this kingdom that makes it worth storming. I am just confused. I'm not sure what is happening. Things get even further confusing in episode 2. The basics are like this. Young princess meets an elf girl in the forest, finds a camp at the end of the episode is under attack, but young princess gets saved by elf boy and is told his name, which I don't remember. That's my part. Geralt basically does nothing. He gets a bard as a companion, gets captured by some elves who say that one of them is an elf king, but I don't buy it. Geralt and bard gets freed and bard sings a song. They have an additional character storyline for Yennefer. She gets introduced here. She gets sold to a woman who runs what I am calling a mage's cult. This is all because Yennefer did a magic portal that one time. But all magic cult things she tries to do, she pretty much fails at and is constantly being called names by the woman who bought her and runs the magic cult. The whole point is that all the girls that do well will ascend, but the ones that actually did well got turned into eels and pushed into some magic-looking water stuff for some reason. Okay, I don't understand that either. Look, I'm not a fan of this show, at all. No one explains anything. There are these characters that have either no or very extremely limited background information about them that it just doesn't make me care about them. Like at this point, if Geralt died, I wouldn't care about it one bit. And the same goes for Yennefer and Young Princess. I don't know anything about the world of The Witcher that it's set in, and neither the first or second episodes give me any information about the world. Why does Young Princess need to find Geralt? Is it because she has abilities? If so, what is Geralt supposed to do for her? He used magic maybe once. He really doesn't seem like the type for teaching someone magic. And it seems like a bad idea. Throughout episode 2, there's mention of an event called the Cleansing. The explanation we got. A basic explanation of a time when humans killed a bunch of elves. That's all you need to know, apparently. Everyone seems to hate everyone in this world, and is always mean to them as well. I just get the feeling that this show was made for people who have read the books or played the games, or both. I'm a bit disappointed that this show isn't that good in my opinion because of how good other people made it out to be. I wanted to like this show. When you can't make me care about the characters or the locations and their importance in the show, then it's not going to happen. So I would say that The Witcher failed this 2-episode test, making it something that I personally can't recommend for someone who isn't familiar with The Witcher already. That's all I have to say. So if you're out of the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening and goodbye.